I'm SP from Better Podcasting, a show dedicated to help make your podcast better. And it is part of the Gonna Geek Network, just like the show you're checking out now. Shows on the network are individually owned, and opinions expressed may not reflect others. Find other insightful and wonderful geeky shows at GonnaGeekNetwork.com.
Stand by for a brand new episode of All Things Good and Nerdy.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to episode 355 of the All Things Good and Nerdy podcast. This is recorded live on Sunday, April 7th, 2019. We got the full crew here today. Everyone's still waking up, it would appear, so wake up.
But I want to sleep in.
Well, you can do that on any day but Sunday, as far as I'm concerned.
The hell? I can't get Geeks.live to work on my Chromebook. Willie's right. Chrome is just screwing us over. Everything's broken.
Willie,
I can't see the chat room.
Willie, how does that make you feel that you were right? He said it
fuck.
on the
it out
internet,
loud.
recorded for posterity. He said, and I quote, Willie was right. How do you feel about this?
Damn it.
Well, you know, I went out there and I gave 110%, and it finally worked out. And it's all about the heart of the team, man. It's all you guys, man. It's all teamwork, man. Make the dream work.
No, it's not the Chromebook because
Well,
I just tried
SP says that they're both down for him. So if you need to get to this, if you're watching this right now and you need to get to our chat room, go to nerds.live. That'll take you to my Twitch page.
Well, how would wait?
Someone could
If
be watching
they
it on one of the
couldn't be
restream
watching
sites. I do restream this.
All right, just making sure the logic is a leap there.
If you go to
To watch this, if you're not already watching it, because you can't watch it, go to this site to watch it.
Yes. So worst case scenario, you go to nerds.live. You'll find the chat room there. That's weird. Yeah, we might be having an outage of some kind for geeks.live, it appears. Well, yeah, page isn't working. So There's an outage there. Nerds.live will take you to the chat room, guys. It's why I have backups for everything.
Daddy do.
Except for, like, people. I don't have backups for that because they can't do that.
Well, it'd be hard to back me up.
Well, I mean, I could try. What am I going to back you up with? Oh, wait, I know. I have a soundboard.
This guy's creepy. Oh, you already done it. Never mind.
Yep. He's ready to replace you.
I mean, yeah. I've
Well, about that.
You're a bad person.
See?
But do you have anything with my quick wit?
No, because that doesn't exist.
Oh.
You're a bastard.
Well, I mean, I've got this, which is sort of your quick wit.
I don't care about myself.
I don't remember saying that.
That's really old.
I mean,
that's
I have
really
said that
old.
many a time. I don't remember in this instance the context.
I mean, there is the worst recorded Willy sound of all time. I can do that.
There is no such thing.
So sensual. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's not the worst. Or I guess something technically has to be the worst. I mean, everything can be, above greatness, but I guess you do have to have a leveling system. So something does have to be the worst, but still be above greatness. Hence me.
I'm not sure that the so sensual bump is your greatest one, Willie. I keep it there mostly because it disturbs people, and that entertains me.
And that's what makes me happy. So you're wrong. And right. But you know what I mean.
How can I be both right and wrong? I'm very confused here.
It's the world we live in.
Huh.
And he's creepy.
SP says he can verify that Willie does, in fact, have a wit. To my response to that is, well, at least half of one.
Well, anyone can verify any goddamn thing they want to, but the proof that they're right is not always
None
there.
of us are verified here. The only person that's verified on the network is Cody, at producer Cody.
True.
He's verified. #verified. I
What
never got it.
But do I really want to be verified by Twitter?
I don't, honestly. It's more just, it's something fun to bitch about. Let's be honest.
I mean, I don't want to take anything from Cody. Cody's awesome.
Let's be honest, though. None of us really have quite the social media reach on Twitter to even qualify to be verified.
No.
Yeah.
I haven't really. I think the only thing I tweeted this year was the Clueless Willy.
And it was entertaining. I should have just given you control of the ATGN account for that, and you could have done it through there.
I don't know what that means, but okay.
Well, if you use TweetDeck to do your Twittering on your laptop or whatnot, I can give privileges to your account so that you could post from the ATGN Twitter account. You went.
I'm sorry. I have lungs of a swimmer, except for the time I almost drowned. But we're not getting there.
You should give those back.
He says that while he has a cigarette in his hand too, which is the best part when he's like, lungs of a swimmer.
Wait, hold on a second. Oh, yeah, there we go. I can breathe now.
For those of you that were on audio, you heard him get the lighter going. He just took a big puff of his cigarette there to control his lungs. SP wins. SP wins. Willie has lungs for lots of little swimmers, if you know what I mean.
I can breathe clearly now. Oh, no, wait, I can't. It's a big stuffy day. See, I changed it. It's a parody now.
It's a parody. I will allow it. I have no complaints. No complaints.
I saw your sphincter tighten up there for a second. Like, whoa, what's he doing?
Do you have a camera on my tushy right now? Because that's very
Why are you
concerning.
looking at his sphincter?
You're not supposed to know that.
So there's like a Chris Tushy cam?
I definitely don't call it that.
Well, so what do you call it, Willie?
The big end, rear end?
I'll allow it.
Thank
I'll
you.
allow it. Well done. Well done.
I have wit. I didn't say I was clever.
You're right. You're not.
Willie's subtle like a hurricane. That's my thoughts.
Yep.
I like that. I'm going to steal that. That's now mine. I said that.
You can have it.
I don't need to have it. I already got it. It's mine. I said it.
Right now, it's going to be the title of the episode.
Just subtle like a hurricane or with my name?
Just subtle like a hurricane.
I like it.
I thought you would. But before we get started with the news and the rest of the stuff, how are things going, guys? I should check in other than just us BSing. Anything good going on?
Shazam.
Shazam was there.
I saw in chat last
good.
night you guys were both talking about Us and had varying opinions.
Yeah, I didn't
yeah.
want to spoil it for you.
Really just doesn't like things. That's all that is.
No. You even agreed that it's like, well, your points are valid. You don't agree with them, but they are valid. I need more. Like, I just need more to that lore. It's just not giving me enough. Like how would this work? It just doesn't make sense to me, and my brain can't get around that. The movie's good. It's just those plot points just I can't get over. That's on me though. Movie's well done. It's just on me. I do like Get Out a lot more.
I think it's just a throwback to some of the old crazy 70s and 80s films.
Yeah,
There's a conceit that's just completely insane, and he's not going to explain to you how it really works. You just have to run with it.
Well, I mean, what they showed, like, I don't understand how it could work, is my thing.
How
did giant rats attack cities? It's just deal with it.
Well, nuclear waste. Duh.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say that too. I was going to say hazardous waste, but close enough. Willie, get out of my head.
That's a logic leap that you can make.
He's in your head and he's staring at your sphincter. He's all in you, Chris, today.
You've seen Ninja Turtles. We know what hazardous waste and nuclear waste can do. Come on. We get giant fucking rats and turtles.
Master
and
Splinter. And Super Shredder. Kevin Nash.
Oh, Super Shredder.
That did jack shit.
That's
seriously on my top 10 of most disappointing kid moments or things that happened while I saw as a kid. Like, yeah, Super Shredder. Oh, what? He just killed himself for no fucking reason.
I saw the fact that he got bigger and his suit got more blades on it.
I can roll. Well,
as a kid, that was awesome, though. Let's be honest.
Oh, yeah. But I mean, we all have to agree, like, the most, most fictional thing of that movie was Vanilla Ice was a big time rapper.
He was at that time.
That's not fictional at all, dude. The number one selling rap artist of all time. Number one rap album of all time.
Wait, is that for real?
Yeah, dude.
Even
look
to
up,
this day?
I believe "To the Extreme" is still the #1 selling rap album ever.
Wait, that's what the title of the album was?
Yeah.
Did it have
Motherfucker,
Go Ninja Go?
No,
Oh, okay.
it's the one that had Ice Ice Baby on it, and that sold everywhere because everybody that liked rap bought it, and then every white kid that wanted to like rap bought it. That album outsold everything when it came out. It was fucking insane.
So here's a little story time about some of my childhood that you just unjogged in my head. So my dad took me to bars when I was a kid. My childhood is neither here nor there. But what I did as a dumbass kid was I went and played Ice Ice Baby on the jukebox. I think like 4 or 5 times in a row. I was that annoying kid.
They
I
hated
should
you,
not have
didn't
been
they?
I guess so. I don't remember. I just remember doing it and laughing. Well, not laughing because I was like, yeah, I like this because I was a dumbass kid.
I'm trying to get confirmation on what the best-selling rap album of all time is, but I don't think these things are right.
But seriously, if
maybe
Mr.
it was
Van
against-
Winkle owns that, holy shit.
They had it for a while. I know. Maybe it was considered the #1 selling R&B album of all time.
Oh my
rap
god, it's
album,
even
though.
worse.
Oh yeah, it would be.
Yeah, I saw 50 Cent's Get Rich or Die Trying as well, Sailor pulled when I went and checked. But then this next list that I found on Ranker had Speaker Box / The Love Below by Outkast, followed by Eminem's The Marshall Mathers LP as the top 2. And then Eminem's Show at number 4. Man, Eminem's got a lot. Please Hammer Don't Hurt Him is number 5 on this list, evidently, with 10 million sold.
God, is that...
And how many? You said that had 10 million sold?
Yeah.
And on the wiki, To the Extreme had 16 weeks at the top of Billboard 200 and sold 15 million copies worldwide.
That's why I said I don't necessarily believe these lists
Yeah.
I'm seeing.
I think some of those lists refuse to put Vanilla Ice on the fucking list.
I'm okay with that.
But yeah, it
Ooh.
was. I know at least it may not be today, but I know for a good long time it was the #1 selling rap album of all time because it made a lot of people mad that the #1 selling album ever in that category was fucking Vanilla Ice.
Wait, that might be a Billboard article. I might have found something here. No shit.
I mean, when you're deadly like a poisonous mushroom, how can you not get to the #1 spot? You frying them MCs like a pound of bacon.
Well, I'm trying to load a site from Billboard.com, which maintains a lot of those records and things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is not working properly.
We're just having all sorts of technical issues.
Fuck it, I don't
today.
care. We'll just pretend like it could be. That's all we need to know. I don't give a shit.
Man, when you first said that, I should have said stop, elaborate, and I'll listen.
That's true. You totally missed a good setup.
I did. That's on me though.
I can rewind it and we can pretend like it never happened and edit it in post. Although I'm far too lazy for that.
Did you just
Far
offer
too
it
lazy.
and then admit that you probably wouldn't?
Yes. Welcome to a show produced by Chris Farrell.
I'm okay with that.
I'm a producer. I think I have a bump for that somewhere.
I don't. Oh God.
Yeah, I have an I'm a producer bump. I'm not going to use it just because my bumps aren't funny. I am not here for the comedic talent.
Are you saying that's what I'm here for?
I didn't say that, and I'm not going to say that.
I think by saying that, I mean, look at Bachman. You think I don't think you got Bachman here for that.
Willie, I think you're just stupid.
I believe you got Bachman here for just the angry rants and the mean looking face. And look at that face. It looks mean. Even now.
Shush, shush, it's my turn. Willie, I think you're just stupid.
For you audio listeners,
Thanks,
Bachman's
Naki.
face looks super mean.
I just brought Naki back for a time period there.
I don't think she really went anywhere, but
She's no longer on the podcast, so I brought
well,
her
I know
back
that, but I meant
temporarily.
like in, spiritually.
Spiritually.
I'm just saying words.
All right, I'm gonna hit the bump at this point. There's no good way to transition this. Let's roll into the news of the week.
Live from the ATGN studios on the internet, it's the news of the week.
Sometimes I have a good transition, other times it's a bad transition. This is one of those weeks where it's a bad transition, where we're going to talk about the news of the week, which is in our minds some of the most interesting geeky and or nerdy news to have popped up in the last week. Anthony, why don't you kick us off this week?
I got more casting news. Apparently, the original idea was that Idris Elba, who signed on to join the Suicide Squad, because apparently the sequel is just adding the word "the," because a 2 is too hard for people to wrap their heads around.
But is it actually a sequel or is it a restart now? Because I keep hearing both. I've heard it's a sequel. I've heard it's loosely related. I've also heard it's a brand new thing just with the same characters.
It's DC. Who knows?
I've heard it was a soft reboot.
It probably is. And part of that's probably because the fact that Will Smith is leaving and will not be returning as Deadshot. And they had instantly cast Idris Elba. And the rumor was he would be playing Deadshot and taking over the Will Smith role. And now what has been confirmed is that Idris Elba did sign on for the movie and will remain part of the cast, but he is not playing Deadshot. So Idris Elba will be playing something else, and apparently Will Smith's Deadshot will not be part of the Suicide Squad. So we're getting another Suicide Squad. Supposedly, James Gunn is still directing it, and we're getting Idris Elba in it, but he's not going to be a replacement for Will Smith's Deadshot. And we're not getting Will Smith in it. And allegedly, Margot Robbie is still signed on to be Harley in it. So,
and Joel Kinnaman or whatever, and
yeah,
Viola Davis are both returning as well.
Yep. Yeah, so there are some people returning to the cast. There are some characters coming back. Yeah, so Viola Davis will be Amanda Waller. Joel Kinnaman will and Jai Courtney. So Kinnaman will be Rick Flag again, and Jai Courtney will be Captain Boomerang. Which, honestly, Jai Courtney was hilarious as Captain Boomerang. I really enjoyed his character. He was one of the ones that seemed to be having fun.
But let's be honest, those two aren't the box office draw that brings people in to see Suicide Squad. It was Will Smith and probably to a lesser extent Margot Robbie because she was still on the upswing of things now. I think you could argue now that Margot Robbie is arguably the biggest draw for the Suicide Squad sequel.
I think it's arguable between her and Idris Elba.
Yeah.
Idris has a huge following.
That's true. Idris should have been
James
Bond.
And she's now, I'm trying to remember, was Tanya the movie or was her acting Oscar nominated? I know she's at least been an Oscar nominated film.
I thought she was nominated for Wolf on Wall Street. I don't know. There's an easy way for us to figure this out.
You might have been
if it works properly. Why you do that? I mean, you're confused. You seem confused about the title of The Suicide Squad. I mean, studios have done this before. Look at Fast and Furious. Oh, I'm sorry, the first movie, The Fast and the Furious, and then the fourth movie, just Fast and Furious. The only difference is they took out "does."
That's also a very different thing where they made 8 of them, and all 8 of them have weird different titles. This is literally just Suicide Squad 2, but instead of calling it Suicide Squad 2, they added the word "the" on the second one. That's just some dumb shit.
I still think it's weirder to just take out the "does."
Is the next one going to be called A Suicide Squad?
I'd be okay with it.
You would. But that was what DC's doing. And then over at Marvel, as talks roll forward with Phase 4, starting with Spider-Man's Far From Home, one of the projects that has been getting a lot of information let out on it finally is the Eternals film, which apparently is going to take over kind of the slot that the Inhumans had been trying to fill when that kind of franchise was destroyed. And so we're looking at getting the secret race of superpowered beings created by the Celestials to have exceptionally long lives. So basically, what appear to be humans but have lived for centuries on Earth. And the casting news that's coming out is that Cersei, the main Eternal, who has been part of lots of massive historical events, including born in Olympia, Greece, was tied to the Homer's The Odyssey. May have had something to do with the actual Pandora's box. So been around for a while and spent some time as an Avenger, will be played by Angelina Jolie. So Marvel just keeps adding the high caliber Oscar-winning actors and actresses to their movies, and it's freaking crazy. The idea that Angelina Jolie is now going to join the Marvel universe, that's awesome.
It's a trend we've seen with a lot of things, though. Like Glenn Close was in freaking Guardians of the Galaxy. All these folks, Robert Redford in Winter Soldier. It's not to the point where people used to look down upon comic book movies or things like that. It's more of hey, these are actually well done and they can make me some good coin.
Yeah, and they can make you a huge star. So that's the casting news for the week. Supposedly we're getting Angelina Jolie in Eternals and Idris Elba in the Suicide Squad. So 2 actors I love that are going to be in 2 movies that I'm definitely going to probably see. So
Wait, are you saying you're going to go see a Marvel movie at the theater?
I'm shocked.
probably.
What? No
Well,
matter
I've
how
seen-
terrible it might. Actually, there
I've
is a
seen
Marvel
53
project.
of them in a row so far. So I guess 54 will be in 3 Fridays.
Chris, I'm going to see if I can get you on board with here because I already know Bachman's going to deny it. Let's see if you agree to this. Bachman, I'm going to say you didn't go see one Marvel thing in the theater. Did you go see the Inhumans in theaters? The first episode or the first 2 episodes they had in
No, I did
IMAX
not.
theaters?
I did not go see the television show that was rebroadcast on IMAX.
You
No.
missed the Marvel production in theater.
It's not a Marvel movie.
It's a Marvel production that was in a theater.
You're
Had a
using the word
theatrical
production
release.
and refusing to use the word movie because it's not a fucking movie.
It had a
I've seen
theatrical
Every
release.
Marvel movie since Blade in the theater on opening day. Fucking broadcasting 2 episodes of a pilot of a TV show that was awful does not count. Especially if you're only showing it in IMAX. If I'd have paid to see that in IMAX, I'd have been pissed.
Okay, so 2 points. I agree with SP. The Inhumans never existed, and Sailor Poland points out a Marvel production, but not a movie. So yes, it was an effective try at a loophole there. But
I mean, it was a theatrical release. That's what I'm basing it on.
okay, Sailor Poland wins. He has suffered through Elektra. Give him a break on Inhumans.
That's
Oh
true.
God, I saw Elektra in theaters too. That piece of shit. Let's build up these like mini bosses, these 4 whatever that what are they elements? I can't even fucking remember. And then they die in like 2 minutes as soon as the fight starts. Dead. Dead. Like
Yeah, they went out.
what the fuck you
quick.
building these motherfuckers up for?
Yeah,
I do have to say, I like the CGI on the tattooed man. They did
I
a good
even
job of
remember
making his
that.
powers coming
yeah, I
out
didn't
of him.
remember it either. Stepping back
Yeah.
a sec, Margot Robbie was nominated for Best Actress in I, Tonya. It was not Wolf of Wall Street, so I was incorrect. I apologize.
Okay. I knew she was nominated though. So yeah, so they're getting an Oscar-nominated actress back in Suicide Squad to play Harley Quinn. How fucking crazy is that? It's an insane world we live in, folks.
I mean, I think we're at this point now where you've kind of just got to say, hey, a comic book movie is just a movie at this point in time.
Yeah.
The stigma associated with it, thanks to the fact that Marvel's been regularly making good ones. DC appears to be on the upswing. Spider-Verse blew people's minds. And for some reason, Venom is considered good despite the fact that it's not really a Venom movie, but I'm not going to go down that path much more because
I would agree with that. It's a good movie, not great. It just borderlines on being like, it's just good. That's as best I can do it.
Yep,
Borderline
Steven Rogers
meh.
got it. Yep. Willie's full of shit.
well, that's not very nice. It's not
Yeah,
nice
but
at
it's
all.
true. Whoever said that was nice.
If I can twist things to make me right, am I really in the wrong?
Yes.
No.
Thank you, Chris.
Because I do the same thing. I can't look down on you because if I could twist it to be right.
I want the record to show
Oh, Jesus.
that both co-hosts have said Willie is right this episode.
This is the worst episode ever.
Yeah, but let's go direct to Chicago to hear what Naki says.
Willie, I think you're just stupid.
So
That's fair. I may be stupid, but I'm still right.
I agree with Naki.
Things can be stupid and still be right.
let's go back to North Carolina to get Willie's response to Naki.
Shut up, Naki.
You shut up.
A little back and forth, I see.
Hey, she was listening. She had her shit. She wanted to share her opinion.
Oh shit, we scared off SP. He said he's done with the show now.
He's not the first person to say that.
That's true.
He won't be the last. I mean, let's be honest. Let's look at our download numbers here.
And Sailor Poland says, me making things to be me sounding right makes me a congressman. Well, remember, I'm running for president in 2020.
Oh Jesus.
I mean, would I not be an all right candidate as opposed to the other candidates?
It can't get any worse.
That sounds like a bi facto. You're right, Willie.
Bi facto?
Bi
You mean de
facto?
facto?
I said what I said.
Uh-huh.
Hey, other presidents have said things wrongly. Why can't I do it too?
That's right. Willie for president. Bigley on the way. Uh-huh.
What's Bigley?
Another dumbass word that the current president used.
Oh, I never looked at it. I don't fucking care. But I can run for president in 20. Well, at least I still think so. I mean,
Sailor Poland has your catchphrase for your campaign in the chat room. Willie Nelson for president. Ale and whores.
There you go.
but
there's a large demographic that will work with.
the problem with that is I don't really drink all that much, and I never have paid for it. I mean, I've paid for it, but not monetarily.
Oh, God.
You're already screwing up because you're already going into it thinking that you're going to have to actually do whatever you say you're going to do during the campaign.
Which, right.
As we all know from politicians, they don't do.
Ale and whores for everybody.
There you go.
And clip.
And so the pro was right. It doesn't have to be for you. You're just promising ale and whores. Look, you're not saying that you will partake.
The only person in here that has any experience in running for office is SP, evidently, as he said he ran for U.S. Senate in 2016.
Nice. How'd it go?
Considering he's the director of SNASA now, I'm assuming he did not win the U.S. Senate seat.
Yeah, but he's not a senator.
He is the director of SNASA.
But you know, it would be something I would run on, like make prostitution legal. Because it makes no sense that it's illegal.
Maybe he did win, and he's a secret senator and the director of SNASA.
A secret?
Maybe he's a secret senator of the secret Congress that oversees SNASA.
But for real. But for real.
Yep.
Legalize prostitution. That's my running campaign.
Well, that was what Dennis Hoff ran on, and then he dropped dead of a heart attack.
Ooh, you're saying that could happen to me? Prostitution, make legal.
Well, I mean, if you're in Nevada, it is. Dennis Hoff's the same guy that owned the Moonlight Bunny Ranch.
Oh shit, that's right. I didn't know
that
his
makes
name.
sense.
I know the place, and I can see his face.
Of course, he knows the place.
Oh my god, that rhymed. But anyway, George Carlin said it best: selling is legal, fucking is legal. How is selling fucking illegal? How
That's
is
not
perfect?
what George Carlin said.
Yeah, he did.
Selling is legal. Fucking is legal. How is selling fucking not legal?
What'd I say? Isn't that what I said?
No, that's not what you said.
We're going back. That is what I said now. See, I'm a politician, god damn it.
Yeah, you are.
But how is selling something made illegal when it's perfectly fine to give it away for free? I paraphrase there. I will
it's
say
really
that.
fucking stupid.
So what I'm hearing here is that Willie needs to move to Nevada and run out there on that platform.
No, I'm doing it from North goddamn Carolina because I don't care if I lose here, which is probably a guarantee.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of Bible thumpers there.
Oh, I'm in that belt loop.
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, fucking make prostitution legal. What's the fucking big deal? Tax it, make it put regulations on it. Bing, bang, boom. It's safer for everybody. Makes the economy better. Get people out there fucking. What's the problem?
Willie Nelson for president in 2020.
That's right.
We need to get you a website and stand it up.
That's a good campaign. Willie Nelson for president. He'll get your dick sucked.
I'm clipping that one too. All right, let's get back on topic here. Let's get back to our news. We were just talking about some Marvel casting. Let's talk about some Marvel movie news. We all know Avengers Endgame we're less than a month away from. I don't know about you guys. I already have my tickets.
Got mine.
Oh, fuck. Oh, yeah, I got mine.
Willie's like, I'll just show up. I don't care. Regardless, there are a lot of people who are excited besides for us, and there are movie theater chains that are going to bank on that excitement. Both AMC and the Alamo Drafthouse are going to be doing screenings of the entire MCU prior to Endgame coming out. So you can go see, all 21 movies? Is it? Something like that? It's something ridiculous.
Yeah.
Now we know there's the guy it's 22, I'm sorry, if you include the final Endgame. And you'd say 52 or 57 hour marathon? I can't remember here. I lost my link. They're showing all 22 movies in an insane 59-hour marathon. They did do that last year, Sailor Poland, you are correct. But I think they're going to have to stop doing this at some point because I can't imagine that every movie would require a marathon, and it would be insane. Regardless, it's going to be crazy. So why I bring that up is, hey, it's an interesting story. The real question, though, is if you're going to spend 59 hours in the movie theater, what's your plans for what movies you're going to nap during, guys? Because you can't stay awake the whole time. There's not enough caffeine for that.
Excuse me. Excuse me. And this empty one right here, I already drank.
Yeah, so I'm still going to say you've got 56 hours of movies before you get to Endgame. You probably don't want to be tired during Endgame. When are you napping? When are you poking your head out to go and get food, assuming you're at an AMC theater? Because if you're at the Alamo Drafthouse, you can get food and drink delivered to your seat, which makes me really wish I had an Alamo Drafthouse nearby to go and do this.
Me too.
I'm sorry.
I'm assuming Willie's going to sleep during Thor: The Dark World.
First off, that movie doesn't exist. I will burn that copy. Yeah, that's also another presidential promise. I will make sure Thor: The Dark World is stricken from the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But back on topic here. These people can do this. Just you got to prep up first and get enough cocaine for the entire time.
Wow, that would be a lot of coke.
The views of Willie
56
Nelson
hours.
do not reflect the views of the All Things Good and Nerdy podcast. Please keep that in mind.
I'm not
Or the Gonna
saying
Geek
to
Network.
do that. I'm saying if that's what you're going to do, you have to make sure you get a lot of it. Would that not work? No, seriously, I don't know. I've never done cocaine.
It
before.
might work. It also might kill you.
Yeah, it would probably kill you. Enough cocaine and your heart explodes was my understanding. Now this
Isn't that
could
what
just
happened
be-
to the Bunny Ranch guy?
I
Maybe.
don't know.
I'm saying that's what happened right now. It's the truth right now.
It
Uh,
depends.
If you deny that, fake news.
All right, so
Get the
like we
shit outta
said,
here.
it's 59 hours. You're going to have to sleep at some point. You're also going to have to use the facilities. Now, my argument is you can go during the credits to go use the facilities because who cares?
You can't.
Yeah, credits would be bathroom breaks.
Well, depending upon the credits, like Guardians of the Galaxy 2, that entire credit sequence is amazing.
Yeah, but I've also just rewatched the entire MCU again, like a couple months ago. I made it take about a week. So trying to do all of that in basically like a little over a day, ouch! Like that's a long time to be sitting in a theater seat that's eventually going to become very uncomfortable.
Isn't this technically over 2 days long? You
Well,
said 55
yes.
hours, right? Or
Yeah, it's
59
59
Oh
hours?
yeah, 2 days. I was
It's
thinking
going
one
to
day,
become
2.5 days.
It's going to become very uncomfortable in there because I don't care how much you shower and apply deodorant before you go in there. It's 59 hours in an enclosed room
Yeah.
with a bunch of excited people.
Hold
It's
on a
gonna
second.
be
Is
hot,
59
Yeah.
hours including the 3 hour?
including Endgame.
Okay, so it is including every.
Including
okay, so
Endgame. It's 56 hours before Endgame starts. And I'm assuming with Endgame, they'll have to show the previews.
Yeah, so you're talking almost 60 hours in the theater. Like, that's insane. I would just randomly sleep off and on throughout the whole thing whenever I was tired, and then set an alarm for when Endgame was going to start.
It's a friendly reminder from Sailor Poland. If you are going to go do this, you're supposed to spray on Axe body spray, not marinate in it.
You just helped me remember what my news of the week is. Yes, I remember Bachman.
Jesus.
I love it when a plan comes together. Thank you for
Oh
that,
my
Sailor
God, my brain is melting. Oh my God, do you see the steam coming off? Oh, I don't have water droplets on. If I could fry an egg on my head right now. I was trying to think so hard.
All right, so before we wrap up this topic, Bachman's plan would be just to nap throughout because he's seen them all. Willie, how would you handle going to this 59-hour movie marathon? What's your plan of attack?
Well, Thor: The Dark World is involved, so no. That's a big fat no. If that's involved, I'm out.
Okay, so Willie, say they would give you $1,000 if you went to this marathon. What is your plan to survive it?
Fall asleep when I fucking want to, because I mean, yeah, for $1,000, fuck it, I'll do it.
So you don't have any preference on which ones you'd be like, oh, I really like this movie. I want to make sure I stay awake for it.
I've seen them all multiple times. I'm good. I mean, I would choose ones that I would definitely not want to fall asleep in, and see how well that works.
You got to reverse the question. Which ones would we want to make sure we're awake and aware for?
Okay, fair.
Then that's slightly different. Then Civil War, Winter Soldier, Homecoming, and Black Panther. I would make sure those 4 for sure, and Ragnarok.
I mean, I think 2 of them. I'm like, I can fall asleep and have.
I got much love for those.
Can we just appreciate how much better the Captain America movies went? The first one was okay. The second one was
the first one was pitch perfect.
It was what it was supposed to be.
It was a World War II movie.
Yeah,
and they nailed it and made it interesting.
I mean, not enough for Hugo Weaving to want to come back.
Well,
what can you do?
Before we get off here, I do have a question for you guys. Which day did you get your tickets for? Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or Sunday?
Thursday at 6 p.m.
Friday. Always Friday. Opening day. Always.
I tried to get one for Thursday, but the tickets were like, or the seats, because it was reserved seating, which I love.
I wish I had them. None of my theaters here do reserved seating.
None of the seats available were good. They were either like on the very far side or down in the front, which actually, to be honest, I don't mind being closer to the front because the theater I go to have reclining seats. So I recline back anyway. I'm already looking up in the reclining position. So, and I'm just there closer. So it just fills in my view. So it's awesome for me. I just have to make sure I get in there in the middle, though. I mean,
the problem is if you're up front, your eyes get tired a lot faster because there's so much to track.
Yeah. I'm a young man.
You're like 6 months younger than me.
I'm a young man.
You're the youngest one on this show, at least.
Yeah. Well, this old man has a seat in the very back row, but it's off pushed to the left. But it's all right because I'm seeing on the giant screen at the Village. So
IMAX.
Being off center, no, not IMAX. I never go IMAX.
I'm going Limax. Well, I mean, it's still using the same resolution in the projector, but the screen's not as big.
I'm going to see it the first time in my local theater, and then the second viewing will be when I'm in Orlando for my honeymoon. They have one of those super AMC theaters there with like the IMAX screen and D-Box stuff. So we're going to go see it again in the IMAX.
You seen D-Box? Yeah,
Nice.
Have you done D-Box before
I
yet?
have never done it before.
Oh my god, you're for a treat. That's gonna be the next time I watch it. Is definitely in D-Box. I just want to see it in IMAX, where it's with that resolution.
Yeah, exactly. So
Are you doing 2D or 3D, guys?
I can only do 2D because my fiance gets nauseous with 3D.
Before you go, Bachman,
has vertigo.
If their 3D was an option, would you do that?
Probably not. I have to use a pair of contacts every time I go see a 3D movie.
Fair enough.
And yeah, I would rather, especially the first time I watch it. Like, there's some movies I wouldn't mind going back and seeing a second time if there was a 3D option. But the first time I watch it, I don't want to be worried about my eyes bothering me. I just want to be able to sit and wear my glasses and see everything perfectly crystal clear.
I used to love going seeing 3D movies until I saw Captain America: The Winter Soldier for the first time in 3D. And that was a terrible experience because all the action scenes were way too blurry.
Yeah,
I couldn't tell what was going on. And that's the moment I was like, I'm done with 3D. I've seen it a couple more times. Like they had an IMAX 3D of like, I think it was The Force Awakens. That was all right. But I mean that Winter Soldier one, that kind of is like, yep, I'm done with like really looking out for 3D. That does it.
Yeah,
except
3D
for the VR.
has hard tracking on stuff that's moving really fast. Yeah, I always go 2D at least the first time.
Yep. So as we move off this topic, the ones I'd make sure I'm awake for: Iron Man. Let's see.
Well, how could you not stay awake for that one?
It's the first one,
it'll
so it'd
first.
be tough to do. But if you're hoarding sleep,
it depends. Are they doing it chronologically in the release movie
order
or time
it's
span?
Release order, not time span.
Because that would be awesome if they did that.
So it would be Iron Man 3, Winter Soldier, Civil War, Doctor Strange, Ragnarok. Those are the ones I'd make sure I was awake for.
Someone needs to make like a super cut of all these movies together where everything is done chronologically in time.
Well, they've sort of already done that.
I mean, with all of them as one block.
You can do it yourself
One
once Captain Marvel comes out. I mean,
Well, Willie wants a YouTube file that's 60 hours long.
well, there was what is MCU Exchange, I think it is, did their recap of the Marvel Universe in 20 minutes, I think it was, which was pretty much that. They went chronological order, if I recall correctly. Stuff like that. There's a few folks that have done that.
I mean, I think first you would have to show...
edit? That's wow.
Well, there's a lot of voiceover to move. Well, I mean, if you make it too long, people aren't going to watch. There's a razor edge on YouTube when it comes to like right length of content when you're making something like that. There's a difference between like a podcast and a speaking thing versus someone making a 20-minute video that's a clip show. That starts to wear on people unless you've got a very good editor and voiceover talent doing all the transition.
Oh yeah, no, I'm just saying that putting a 20-hour movie franchise into a 20-minute clip, like that's a hell of a lot of editing.
Yes.
All right, I got this. I want this is going to make this so much worse, but it might make SP a little wet in his jammies. Not only do you edit all those to be in chronological, order when things happen, but you also include Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Oh, good lord, that would be
in
long.
chronological moments.
Oh wow, that would be kind of funny.
And SP, go ahead and tell us that your jammies are preferably wet with excitement and excrement. Excitement, excrement, either way.
Stop.
What the
Stop.
fuck? No,
See,
Willie, no.
That's that wit.
That was not wit.
Thank you, Sailor Pullman. He just told me to go fuck myself.
It was kinder than I was going to put it.
I'm assuming that's just in the when I included the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
I don't know.
Well, I mean, hell, if we're at that too, let's just throw in Inhumans in there. Why not?
No,
We're already going that far.
Why do you want to make people hate things?
Oh, okay. Well, how about this? Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. and the Marvel one-shots.
The one-shots are fantastic.
They need to bring those back for real, though.
Yeah, it's sad that those stopped because those were some of the best things on the little DVD extras.
I know, and it made fucking the end-credit scene in Incredible Hulk make sense.
It did. And it also explained a lot about the Mandarin and the Ten Rings if you watched Hail to the King.
And it gave you like the first real glimpses into Coulson.
That's true also.
And what was it, the gas station?
And Sitwell too, right?
And Sitwell, yeah, as well.
Yep, so there's our plans if we had to go to this marathon, the movies that we would catch. We got one last news story. Willie, I assume you haven't forgotten it. If you have...
Oh, no, you reminded me perfectly. Oh my God, this Frappuccino from Starbucks, so fucking good. At least the store-bought ones, all liquid. Oh my God.
Are you going for the advertiser plug with Starbucks? You trying to get a deal? Cut us out?
I'm always trying to get a fucking deal. I need that fucking campaign money, motherfucker.
Oh, Jesus.
But yeah, my news of the week is I find humorous and also very fucking sad. And thank you for reminding me. Oh my God, it was out of my brain. So let's talk a little bit of Yu-Gi-Oh. And you guys know where I'm going with this.
I don't.
Really?
I don't know
okay.
much about Yu-Gi-Oh, to be honest.
Oh yeah, now I remember.
Yeah. So recently, the Yu-Gi-Oh tournaments, they have a new ruling in their rule book that says because apparently this was enough of a problem where they actually had to put a ruling on it to penalize if you go against it. Pretty much, you have to come clean showered with clean clothes. Apparently, enough people were coming smelling rancid that they made a ruling on it and put it in the rule book saying if you don't do this, you're going to be penalized.
Which means it's now somebody's job at these tournaments to like walk around and smell the competitors.
I don't think there's really needs to have anyone's job to do that. Just if you're already there, like, yeah, this guy fucking smells. Maybe you might need a judge like, this smell factor is not enough. Ruling is clear. But still, put on some deodorant.
Well, I think there's a difference between someone who's just stinky and comes in versus if it's a long day and you start to sweat. I mean, as long as you've properly treated, you can't really throw someone out who has sweat problems.
I have sweated everything out of my body, and I have never smelled that bad. If I took a shower that same day and went out working out or something all day long and just been sweaty, I've never smelled that bad.
I can't
so
think
for
of a
something
time where I have either, but
I've been to a gaming store, one of these tournaments, and yeah, sometimes the smell of 14-year-olds and shame is just awful.
Yeah, I don't want to shake your hand. I can smell the masturbatoriness on it from here.
I have played in some tournaments like that where you're just like, whew. I hope this is over soon so I can stop having to smell this shit.
But you know what this kind of reminded me of, though? It reminds me of that guy at the Magic the Gathering tournaments who would pose down and take pictures with people's ass cracks.
They're very strange.
That guy is the hero we deserved and needed.
I don't know if we needed him.
We did. I needed it. It made me laugh. It still does. It's like, and I told you this story last night, Bachman, but this also did remind me of a story of my childhood a little bit again. In high school, I was an idiot. Not much has changed.
Okay, thank you.
I was going there already.
We all were.
I don't know why I didn't wear a belt because my ass crack was showing way too much in high school. Like mostly when I sat down, because pants were just sliding. It was just enough. Like, God damn, this is a fucking problem. Why didn't I just fucking wear a belt? Why I would go back in time and say, dude, wear a fucking belt, man, and don't worry about what anyone else thinks. I mean, you're probably not gonna listen to that, but do it anyway. I wouldn't even listen.
Yeah, I always wore a belt, even when I had those shameful Jinko jeans when I was in middle school.
I wish I had some Jinko jeans when I was a kid. Not gonna lie,
they were great when I was a kid, but I look back on that now. I'm like, what the fuck was I thinking with like legs that are this big around, and you're just dragging them all through the puddles and the mud, and you're like, what the hell?
Although
I loved my Jinkos.
I don't think I could do that because I walk to and from school, and I don't think I could wear those while doing that. Like I walk through the woods.
I mean, I loved the fact that I had enormous pockets in those pants. Like, it's amazing the stuff you could fit in the front and back pockets of those things. You could just not have a backpack, basically, and just put all your stuff in your pants pockets.
Pretty much. I mostly had the jorts, though. I had, like, the Kevin Smith level.
Yep.
So they were basically capri pants.
Yeah, that went down below the knee, almost to the top of the shoe. But
that was me, too.
They were still shorts.
You know what's sad? I actually kept wearing those well into my 20s.
Oh, so did I, but also when I was in my 20s, it was still the 90s, so I was allowed.
That was the one good thing my ex-wife did for me, is she got me to stop wearing jorts.
Is that really a good thing? Are you sure?
Yes, actually, looking back, that is.
You could have those jorts right now and be wearing them and be an internet celebrity because you're jorts man or something like that.
How would that make me an internet You know what? Fuck, I'm going to go buy some. Let's try and make this happen.
Because everybody loves Jinko jorts, I mean, I imagine.
Because you got to have something.
Whoa. Stop the price. Are you combining them? Jinkos and jorts into one thing?
Didn't they make some?
I have no fucking... I'm going to Google this.
I just said that's what I was wearing.
Yeah.
I don't listen to you.
Sailor Poland says jutes
Apparently
are
not.
where it's at now, and I have no idea what a jute is.
Jinkos.
Jutes?
So Sailor Poland, you'll have to illuminate me
are those jean boots?
I mean, it can't be as bad as when Conan O'Brien basically wore jean-colored leggings.
Oh yeah.
Well, I'm looking at Jinko jorts. They just look like jorts that are a little bit longer. I was thinking I was picturing like wide-legged.
They are super wide-legged, but they don't look like bell bottoms the way some of the other Jinko pants did. They didn't flare out.
With a belt around the top of the boot on these jutes. That's dumb.
I was right. Jean boots. Oh, that's awful.
And of course, I just do Jinko jorts. And of course, the fourth image is of Kevin Smith.
Kevin Smith. He is the king of the jorts.
They're right at his ankles. Like, why? What's the point of that point? Just wear pants. They're already at your ankles.
They're basically short pants.
They're not short though.
Oh, they're short because they don't actually touch the top of the shoe. That's what makes them short.
2 inches shorter than pants, if that. Oh god. Yeah. So So if you go to Yu-Gi-Oh tournaments, make sure you take a shower at least a day before, at the very least.
No, day of. Don't give them an out. Day of.
You know what? Fair. That's fair enough.
Take a fucking shower before you go out in public. If you're a teenager, you stink. That's just the way of the world, because when your body's going hormonal, it just happens to everybody. Everybody stinks during that time. But if you don't shower daily, it gets so much worse that you become ungodly offensive.
Yeah, man. I think back to 14-year-old Chris, and I remember my gym locker at school, and that thing was disgusting smelling.
Oh, yeah. Sandwiches in there that just never got thrown away.
Sandwiches in your gym locker?
Peanut butter and banana sandwiches.
In your gym locker?
Shut the fuck.
Gym
locker. No, regular locker. I was thinking regular locker. Sorry. Regular locker. We never had
I was like, what the fuck are you doing? Eating a sandwich while you get dressed for gym class?
We never had
Who the hell would even put food in the gym locker? The gym locker smelled so bad. I would never put food in one of those.
Listen, as a good politician, I'm only listening to you like a quarter of the time.
Okay, fair. Fair.
And remember, kids, you can replace a shower with a heavy dose of Axe body spray.
No, you cannot. You just smell like fragrant, rancid asshole.
And that could be what you're going for, and that's how you do it.
And that's how you'll get kicked out of the Yu-Gi-Oh tournament.
And rightfully so.
So.
Well, they didn't say kicked out. They said penalized. So they might like take points. I don't know how that works.
I'm going to guarantee you that penalty goes up to or being asked to leave.
What else could they can't well, you start off with negative life or negative 500 life as opposed to your
4,000 health instead of 8,000.
Yeah, something like that. That makes no sense. Cause you smell bad.
Hey, it's their tournament, their rules. They can do whatever the fuck they want.
You damn Skippy.
Although I have heard that haven't people used that kind of tactic of smelling bad to win fights or something mixed martial arts.
I'm sure there's
high
people
school wrestling
that have thought of stuff like that. That doesn't necessarily mean it's effective.
I mean, it can throw you off a little bit. Oh God.
Oh yeah,
really?
Yeah, if your opponent stinks, it's gonna mess with your head.
I mean, when I wrestled in high school, if you wrestled a stinky person, you just wanted to get it over with that much quicker.
Yeah.
And this, of course, brings back to Dragon Ball, not Z, but the original Dragon Ball, the first World's Tournament that you
Zed.
saw. Whatever.
We've got Canadian viewers. We gotta help. It's Dragon Ball Z or Zed, depending on where you're from.
Whatever. Well, I'm not even talking about that one anyway. I'm talking about the original Dragon Ball, the first World's Martial Arts Tournament. Krillin goes against this one guy who smells terrible, but luckily, because he was like, "Oh God, how can I fight him? He smells so bad." Until Goku finally yells at him, like, "Krillin, you don't have a nose." He's like, "Oh yeah, that's right. I don't smell anything."
Well, that does wrap up our news of the week.
That.
We hope we're able to educate you at least a little bit this week. that was our hope. As we transition out of the news of the week, this is when we like to remind you guys that the All Things Good and Nerdy podcast is, in fact, part of a network of shows that you can find over at GonnaGeek.com. We've got 20 plus different shows in the network, including some new additions that have just recently joined us. And we cover a variety of different geeky and nerdy topics, be it about comic books, specific television shows, video gaming, board gaming, tabletop gaming, geek culture, you name it. We've probably got a show that's going to suit your tastes. And each week we try to give you a taste of one of those shows and say, hey, maybe you guys should go check this out. So, Willie, what show are we telling folks about this week?
It's on. I had to make sure my mic was on. I wasn't sure if it was on or not. But
We're
this week,
professionals here.
I wasn't sure if I muted. Sometimes I mute if I have to call for something. I try to help you out. I help you out, Chris.
Thank
and
you.
I'm a little, you know what? I wasn't prepared this time because I was like, oh shit, he's throwing it because last 2 or 3 weeks we didn't had anything, right? I mean, you gotta give it to me. Yeah, he's giving me a thumbs up. But this week, I'm going to be talking about Game Life Balance, the U.S. version. Episode number 58. Author Blake J. Harris talks Oculus, Facebook, and the VR revolution. Oh, you should have said V revolution. I guess that doesn't work. Yeah, don't listen to me. I was retarded there. Anyway, Cody interviews author Blake J. Harris, who recently released his new book, The History of the Future, Oculus, Facebook, and the revolution that swept virtual reality. Wait, that's a full colon. That's not a semicolon. I'm sorry. In this podcast, Harris dives into the dramatic, larger-than-life true story behind the founding of Oculus and its quest for virtual reality. He also talks about how he got his hands on the story, the twists and turns he encountered, and what's next for virtual reality. Back to you, Chris.
Why, thank you, Willie. So if that sounds interesting to you, make sure you go check out Game Life Balance US and all of the other shows that you can find over at GonnaGeek.com. Just click on the network button and you'll find all that stuff.
And I want to apologize. I did say semicolon.
God, just get your head out of your ass, man. We expect more professionalism. on this show.
No. My head's in your ass. I'm watching the feed over here, man. When I made that mistake, your colon turned into a semicolon.
No.
What the fuck?
And groans across America happen.
No, it wasn't even worthy of that. It was just worthy of that awkward silence where everyone just kind of looks like, the hell?
I saw it look Bachman gave me.
Ugh.
All right, so we're at that time of the show where 55 minutes in. We generally run for somewhere between another 10 to 20 minutes.
I thought we were 4 minutes in.
Shut up. So I'm going to defer to my co-host and to our peanut gallery. We're not going to try and do Willie's unprotected advice every week, but I do have one in the can. The question is, co-hosts, peanut gallery, do you want another round of unprotected advice with Willie Nelson, or do you just want us to start wrapping things up? If we do the advice, it's going to be power what I'm into. We're going to power through it and just do it fast. So it's up to you guys. How do you want to handle this?
I'm okay with it if everyone else is. I gotta get my serious face on and serious advice on.
That is true. Anthony Bachman, what are your thoughts here?
Oh, let him do it.
Sailor Paul's like, wrap it up. If we can't savor it. Well, no. Willie's advice will go at the regular pace. It's what I'm into that we'll do a little quickly. So I think you heard it here. The co-hosts have spoken, and it's time to do some more advice.
Unprotected Advice with Willie D. Nelson.
Unprotected all the way in, baby.
So we can't always be all about the laughs and the fun here and making jokes and making geeky references. We learned a few weeks back that Willie's actually a pretty good sounding board when it comes to advice. He's got his head screwed on fairly straight, and if you have issues that are going on, Willie's here to help you out with his little segment we call Unprotected Advice. So Willie, are you ready? Are you ready to try and help people with their problems they're having?
Yes.
All right. So this latest one comes from the Reddit r/relationship advice. It currently has 1.6 thousand upvotes, so it is one that a lot of people are weighing in on. 240 comments. Let's make it 241 with some unprotected advice from Willie Nelson.
I like that. Turn to 241. I like that. That's a good one.
Yeah, see, sometimes I know what I'm doing here. I can play the straight man on these things. So here's the title. I, 22-year-old male, went through my girlfriend's 22-year-old female phone. Here's what I found. Are you ready, Willie?
Yes.
Tonight, I took my girlfriend out for what I thought was a great night. I spent about $150 on supper tonight, and she got pretty drunk. When she passed out, I was awake for hours, and her phone just kept dinging while we were in bed. First off, she had been talking to a guy I had been super suspicious about. Best friends on Snapchat with a 150-day streak. I don't know what that means, by the way.
I kind of get it. I know very little about Snapchat, but I think I get it.
Same here. He tells her that he can't stop thinking about me being with her, and she responds saying she doesn't want the relationship anymore, and she's trying to fix her mess. A side note from the author here. This fucking killed me, not going to lie. They've also been sending each other a series of poems back and forth. So poetry, Willie. Keep that in mind for your advice. Second, she messaged her best friend telling her that the only reason she's been keeping me around now is because she can't afford to live on her own. Third, she has 2 password-protected notes in her phone that I just know have to be about me somehow. Question, why is this my fucking life? This all happened about 20 minutes ago. I took a screenshot on her phone and sent it to myself. Not to mention she had a sexualized photo of the other guy saved as the contact photo. He edited it at the end and said, we have dated for 3 years now, and I'm in pieces about this. So, Willie, what should user ironic_gamertag12 do in this situation?
All right, I got a couple things already. First, I might have missed it. What was the reason for going out? You said, was that for a birthday or something?
I think it was just a date.
Oh, just a date. Jesus Christ, $150 drop. Fool for just. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Big night, I guess.
Well, first thing, I'm gonna have to penalize the guy for snooping. I know the phone kept going off, but you did go through it, that's never a good sign. I'm not sure. He didn't specify whether or not it was because he said they were Snapchatting back and forth. Was the chat through Snapchat? Was the chatting through text messages?
It does not say on there.
The
implication would be that it couldn't be Snapchat because they delete themselves after a while, don't they?
Well, I mean, but you can still read them. They stay
Okay.
for 20. Still, the chat will stay there for 24 hours. I mean,
Okay.
I know
so
that
it
much
very
of
well
it.
could have been a snap conversation then.
So I mean, I'm not sure. But either way, it's you shouldn't snoop. That's always. You're never gonna find something you like. Probably more than likely. So I mean, that's kind of negative points on you, buddy. You shouldn't have been snooping. But you did find out something. Your suspicions were correct. But I do not recommend doing your method. But you were right. And from the sounds of it, you need to end it. Like you just, I mean, whether or not you bring up what you found, I personally would just not even bring it up. I would just say, I'm sorry, this relationship just feels like it's coming to it's not enjoyable anymore. Put it in your own words to make it sound a lot more flowerful than what I'm putting it out as. But you get the idea. Like, end it. I would say don't even mention it, what you found, and just say, like, we just need to end this. It just doesn't feel like the same magic anymore. And just let it go, pretty much. That's what my advice would be. I mean, you're probably still going to be heartbroken, all of it sounds like, because it sounds like you really like this girl. But if she's doing that, there's no reason to try and salvage anything.
Sailor Poland put it as DTMFA. Dump the motherfucker already.
I mean, I agree with that sentiment, but I would not go as far as calling them motherfuckers, even though that's what they are. But that's neither here nor there. Yeah, I mean, you just got to dump her, man. I mean, don't wait for her to do it to you.
Yeah, just get out. I agree with you. And I don't even think you have to explain that you saw these messages and that's why you want out. You can just leave it as, hey, I don't think this is going in a place that we both want right now. Things aren't clicking right. And get out that way. That way you don't have to be like, I did the douche move and went through your phone, because that's
Yeah, I went out first day. That's the first thing I said. That's negative points right there, man. You can't be doing that.
And if you're going to break up with her, it looks like they live together was part of what he was describing there. If you be like, I dug through your phone and found out all of this stuff, and it ends on a contentious note, she can really screw you over by, if her name's on the lease, not leaving, getting lawyers involved, taking shit on the way out that might not necessarily be jointly owned.
Happen this guy.
Try and play it the right way would be my suggestion, which is, look, things are obviously not working for us. It's probably time that we just go our separate ways.
Yeah, that would probably be best. Then if she wants, I mean, if she really can't, survive on her own, maybe go live with the guy she's talking to then,
Yeah. So
I mean, if you're willing to throw away a relationship where you can't really, that you can't apparently, support yourself, and you're using that to support yourself, like, maybe you shouldn't cheat then.
Well,
even if you didn't go all the way, emotional cheating is still a fucking
you shouldn't
thing.
be in the relationship if you're just with them so you have a place to live.
Oh yeah. That's definitely a guarantee, unless that's agreed upon originally, which is A-okay.
So Willie, I think you gave some good advice. Anthony, you think he gave some solid advice here?
Unbelievably, I actually do. It's fucking ridiculous. There's something wrong with today. It's the whole fucking world's turned upside down. This is
So I
crazy.
do want to, for the record, that's multiple times this episode. Multiple people have said I am right.
I didn't want to.
I believe hell is frozen
But
over.
you did.
That's the best part about this segment, is that, number one, it's taken pretty seriously, and that, Willie, you do a good job sharing some sentiment based off life experiences and things like that. And even when someone wants to be like, God, I want Willie to be wrong so we can have the joke or something like that, we're kind of like, yeah, Willie, I think your advice is solid. Now, granted, what do we know? We're 3 30-plus-year-old white men on the internet, so we're not exactly a narrow demographic here.
And I'm just waiting for the day there's some sex advice questions coming in.
I am trying not to find sex advice questions. I will be honest.
Thank you, Chris.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't
if you
think we
just
want that.
one in sometime, right? Of course, this isn't going to be a regular thing, but if you could have at least one, I mean, I got plenty to say because I have had no complaints.
All right. So
Except
there we
for my
go.
first
There we go. So as we wrap up this segment, hey guys, if you do want some advice from the one and only Willie D. Nelson, please feel free to send it to us. Facebook, Twitter, email, whatever. We will bring it up on the show. We will make you anonymous so that your name is not given. And
Unless
Willie
you don't want it to be.
And Willie will happily give his Unprotected Advice.
Unprotected Advice with Willie D. Nelson.
And that was Unprotected Advice with Willie Nelson. Looking at the time, though, it is time for us to wrap up the show. We wrap up with our normal segment called What I'm Into. It's our chance to share with you guys who are watching live or listening at a later date just what kind of geeky and or nerdy things we've been getting into, so that maybe, just maybe, you'll want to check them out yourselves. I will kick things off and say I'm loving What We Do in the Shadows on FX. It is the TV version of the movie that Taika Waititi did. It is freaking hilarious. So if you enjoyed What We Do in the Shadows, the movie, go check out the first 2 episodes of the TV show. It's really funny. The same quirky sense of humor in it, because I believe that the person who co-wrote it with Taika is writing a lot of the episodes, and I believe Taika Waititi was going to direct 3 or 4 episodes of it. So it is a blast. It is hilarious. It is lots of fun. I am also continuing to play Final Fantasy VII. I will finally beat this game one day, and I assume it will be on the Switch because that's just the most convenient device to play it on now. Yes, I have never beaten Final Fantasy VII. You may now shame me, Internet, if you so choose to.
Yeah, it's all right.
Final Fantasy VIII's better anyways.
You fucking piece of shit. I take that back. Final Fantasy 9 is the better of the 3.
Final Fantasy 9 is also fun, and it is available on the Switch as well, if I recall correctly. So that might be the next one I go back and play.
Best of the 3.
I do enjoy the Final Fantasy games. What else have I been getting into, though?
Well, hold on a second. But also Final Fantasy 10 is also just the best Final Fantasy.
Final Fantasy 4, I think, is the best, actually.
Actually, I never played that one, to tell you the truth, so you might be right.
That's one of my favorite ones. It's when you begin playing the game as Cecil the Dark Knight, and you become a Light Knight, and there's all sorts of cool airships and stuff like that. It's a lot of fun.
Is that the one with Kefka, the clown thing?
I don't think so. I don't remember it. It's a game that got me through boring times in college because I had, this same Game Boy that's sitting here that I keep saying I need to get a charger for, right here. I would sit in the back row of classes I was bored in and play Final Fantasy IV on my Game Boy.
Well, at least it's not like a 3DS right now where you buy it and you don't fucking get a goddamn way of charging it. God, it makes no fucking sense.
Sailor Poland says, "Hey Chris, here's a little advice. Don't bother leveling up Aerith." Yes, I know what happens. I live on the internet, so I'm aware of what's going to happen. I thought I might have had Final Fantasy in this Game Boy, but I do not. It is in fact Super Mario Advance, which is also a great game. Wow, Willie, you're not digging it?
I'm done with platformers.
Okay, fair enough. Other thing I did do, and you guys might be noticing it in this show as we broadcast it live, is that I, in my audio setup, have my mixer and everything running into a Griffin iMic. Well, Griffin discontinued the iMics, and mine has been having a lot of staticky issues and buzzing in the background, so I had to replace it, and I did find a new USB adapter that I'm using. I cannot remember the name of it. I did mention, I believe, on the last Gonna Geek show what was coming, but it seems to have worked better. There should be less distortion or static or background noise coming across to those of you guys watching on twitch.tv. And I did actually buy 2 different ones. I also bought a spare set from Cable Matters that was like a 2-for-1. So I got 3 new USB audio interfaces for like $20 that I will try both and let you guys all know which one I think is working the best right now. So far, I'm liking what I've got set up right here, and I think it has hopefully led to some better audio quality coming out to you guys watching us live on twitch.tv or on geeks.live right now. I think that's about it for me, though. I've just been busy with work and other stuff like that, so I played video games where I could and just watched dumb TV. So, Anthony, what have you been getting into, sir?
Let's see. I finished the 3rd season of Korra. I'm getting ready to start season 4. Or did I finish 2 and I'm starting 3? Whatever, I'm on the last one. But I can't remember which disc it is. But
I watched all that in a weekend.
I got other stuff I've been watching too. So I'm watching that, and I got the box set now of the Fast and the Furious 8 movie film franchise. So when I'm done with Korra, I'm going to start and actually watch all the Fast and the Furious movies in a row, which I've never done, which I think will be fun. Because I have a friend who mentioned to me that she'd only seen the first 3. And I was like, wow, you stopped watching that franchise when it got good. Like that was the worst point to stop watching it, is when they started going crazy and started, jumping buildings between buildings and shit. So I got all of them so that she could watch it. I gave her all the digital codes, and I have now the whole set, or the first 8 on Blu-ray, in preparation for Hobbs and Shaw, because I told her she needs to catch up so that she'll know all about Hobbs and Shaw, so that we can go see Hobbs and Shaw, because It's Hobbs and Shaw. It's going to be awesome. So yeah, so I'll be watching that as my friends Sean Pryor and Julian Lyle call it Black Avengers. So I'm getting ready for a Black Avengers marathon. I'm gonna watch all 8 of those, and then I started actually watching some stuff on Amazon. I finally watched the new Manji. I saw the new Jumanji movie, which was really enjoyable. I actually really liked that. That was even funnier than I thought it was going to be. It was really good. That's something I will definitely watch again. I enjoyed the hell out of that one. Let's see what else. Yeah, Netflix, Hulu. Trying to catch up on all the shows, keep up on everything. I still got to finish the last season of Voltron. I'm about halfway through that. And then, yeah, went and saw Shazam, which I really enjoyed. It was a really fun movie. I'm glad that nothing had been spoiled for me. So there was a huge surprise for me at the end that I really enjoyed, which I won't say anything. But yeah, it was a really fun movie. It's the most on point character that they've done in the new DC movies, where it's funny and charming, but also 100% fits the character. Zachary Levi is the big red cheese, and he fucking nails the role perfectly. I hope they get 4 or 5 more fucking movies out of him, because he was so goddamn enjoyable to watch in that film. And then, playing some Anthem, playing some Apex Legends, going through the season 1 of Apex Legends. I think that's about it. Yeah, just playing some random video games and stuff. Having some friend, my friend, I bought her Anthem so she could play, because no one else will play with me, you bastards. So I got her Anthem because she had enjoyed it, and basically it's like an early birthday present. So I made a new pilot at level 1 to play through the game with her. And so I made I'm doing a female pilot this time to hear if there's any actual story changes. And then I'm running a Colossus this time from the beginning. So it's been weird trying to learn how to fly again, because the Colossus actually handles so different than the other Javelins that it literally is like flying a tank. So getting used to moving around in the much larger Colossus that also hits a lot harder. So it's been fun to just run around with the shield and shield bash people. But yeah, it's been fun restarting the game again and playing it, even with the occasional bugs. We had, like, the first day she was playing it with me, like halfway through one of the early missions, we just got kicked off the game. Like, it dropped us from the server, kicked us back to the main menu. So yeah, shockingly, Anthem still has problems, but honestly, they fixed a lot of stuff, and I'm still enjoying it, so I'm going to keep playing it. And then, yesterday I picked up Ash Williams for Dead by Daylight, and actually got a couple matches in with Willie, though the fucking matchmaking still did not want to fucking find matches for us. Like, it took us one time like 20 minutes to find a match, but
weird.
Yeah.
Ash I will say
Dead by Daylight, which is fun. It has gotten better, but yeah, there's still, I mean, the live servers this summer can't come fast enough for Dead by Daylight.
Hurry up with those fucking dedicated servers, you pieces of shit.
And I feel like I've heard you guys talking about this for like a year now, that you want dedicated servers.
Well, they announced it almost a year ago. They're like, we're going to have them summer 2019. It's like, come on.
And also lower the fucking prices of your like costumes and stuff. I did it because I wanted it so bad.
Oh yeah,
the Ash Williams, like, he has 2 like full costume change, like, like from a hand, shirt, and pants. Each costume set by themselves cost about $10, and I bought both of them.
Yeah, the costumes are ridiculous, but I will say right now the game itself is on sale. I think it's on sale on PS4 and PC. In Steam, almost everything is on sale except for Ash and the new the Plague and the new Survivor that comes with her. So the 3 brand new characters aren't on sale, but everything else, all the other levels, all the other characters, the killers and survivors are all on sale right now. And also it is a free weekend for Dead by Daylight. So if you wanted to try it and didn't want to pay for it, you can play it for free, at least on Steam PC right now. I don't know if it's free on PS4 this weekend. But yeah, it's right now. You can definitely, anybody who wants to try it can go try it for free. It's a free weekend. So, and then, yeah, everything that is available is on sale. So if you want to pick up any parts of it, it is a good time. Because, yeah, for streaming, I did some stream on a Saturday. I finally picked up a Sparks of Madness, so I got to play with the Doctor. I picked up the Mud one, so I have the Hag now, and Ace, and Fingman. And then, and I picked up the Cannibal, so I have Leatherface on PC now. And then I picked up Ash I think I picked up Ash and the Plague and the new Jane Romero. I think I have all 3 of the new characters on PS4. I think I grabbed all of those yesterday. Yeah, so I think I'm going to start focusing more on, for the streaming on Twitch, I'll be playing more killer stuff, and on PS4, which I'm usually playing with Willie, I'll focus more on the survivors. So survivors on PS4, killers on PC, and that way I'm not doubling up my efforts, because redoing everything twice is really annoying. But that's what I've been getting into.
No doubt. Willie, wrap things up for us. What are you getting into?
Willie doesn't wrap it up.
Unprotected advice with Willie D. Nelson.
Well, like I said, I did go see Us Friday, and it was all right. I just couldn't get past some of those plot points, like I said earlier. I've been watching since Ash came out. I started watching Ash vs. the Evil Dead. I started watching it like Friday after midnight, so like into Saturday morning, and I finished the first season yesterday. Now I started the second season last night as well. And let me see what else am I getting to. Oh yeah, and I need to get into, because new season or second part, I don't know what they're calling it, of Sabrina Teenage Witch came out on Netflix. Need to start that. So new episodes, yeah.
I heard
is the new season of Sabrina out now?
Yep, came out Friday.
Yeah. I'll have to watch that, because that first season was fun as hell.
And even the extra episode they gave for, was it Winter Solstice or was it the Christmas episode? I can't remember. But that was really good. God, that felt like it was a double episode, because they put so much into it, but it wasn't. I was surprised.
That show is so well made. It's ridiculous.
But what else have I been getting into? I haven't really been doing a whole lot besides that. Playing some Dead by Daylight, of course. I did something else. What did I do? Man, I did some things, and I made some home improvement beneficiary stuff for myself. I finally went out and got a new shower head. Oh my god, it's one of the same shower head's been in here since I moved in, and it's kind of just been like, bleh. But I went and got a new one. It was one of the cheaper ones of this kind, but I enjoy it. It's one where it has like a thing that pops out and you can move it around. It has the hose to go into it. Oh my god, I love that. I can spray my nether bits right there. Oh, it's so good. And it makes shaving my head in there so much easier too. I'm loving the shower head. You know what? Let's just cut this short. That's what I've been getting into, everybody. Did pub trivia last Monday. We got second place. It was
loser.
It was so close. It came down to I think we were in first place in that before the last round. My problem with the guy who is the MC or whatever, the main guy, the guy running it. I don't like the way he says all the team names and the points, because he doesn't do in any kind of order at all. He could start off with the person in third place, then the person in last place, then first place, and second. It's like, dude, pick an order, man. Come on.
To do that.
But yeah, I rocked it with the movie trivia, because that's usually round one. I usually kill it over everyone else, and I love it. We just lost in the last round, the music round, where you have to come up with the song and then the artist. Oh my god. I got so angry at myself because I could not remember Save Tonight by Eagle Eye Cherry. God, I couldn't remember that.
Whenever we did this pub trivia, I always had trouble with song titles.
You could say, I couldn't save tonight.
Boo.
That's fair. I'll give that one. That wouldn't. That's the best. I think that's the best I could come up with, and that's probably the best pun you could probably come up with in that whole thing. But yeah, that's what I've been getting into.
But we have to keep going because Chris is on the phone.
I didn't even
throw
notice.
it back to him when he's on the phone, dude.
I didn't notice. I wasn't even looking at him. I was just winding down.
He's literally holding the phone to his head going, keep going.
I wasn't
keep
looking
talking.
at him. I wasn't looking at him. So remember, Willie Nelson,
you're good
2020.
now.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I can be president by the time, because I mean,
Willie
like I
Nelson,
said,
2020. He don't pay attention.
I will be 35 by New Year's 2020. So that should be okay. I mean, you don't have to be 35 to run. You just have to be 35 by the time you go into office, right?
I don't. We
I'm not
looked this
sure.
up at one point in time.
I don't remember.
honestly
We did. I don't remember we looked it up.
We did. All right. So as we shut
Doesn't
this
sound
thing
like us.
down, there was one thing I did want to announce, which is we do have a new addition to the Gonna Geek network of shows. It is the Play Comics podcast that did join us officially as of this last week. For those that aren't familiar with what it is a podcast looking at video games based on comics and how faithful those games are to the source material. So you can check them out over at GonnaGeek.com or at Play Comics Cast on Twitter. I do know he will be Chris. The host of that show is also named Chris. Will probably be looking for some people to guest host with him from time to time to talk about games and comics. And I'm pretty sure Willie's going to be all over that. So if you guys get
Chris, not you, Chris, the better Chris. Chris, if you're listening to this, if you're listening to this, I'm your motherfucking man. Let's do this.
Instantly throws
so-
our Chris under the bus. Instantly.
That's okay.
That's not
Jesus.
throwing him under the bus. He's not a scapegoat for
It's
anything.
okay. I'm going to burn this podcast down. That's all. Regardless,
Don't worry, there'll be new life in the unprotected device.
There you go. Willie's just going to do his own show called Unprotected Advice.
And you're gonna be my producer, right?
Yeah, I mean, I own the domain, so you can either pay me for it or it'll point to porn or something.
Pin me and pay me or whatever the fuck that was. I can't remember.
I don't
Was that
remember
$1 Million
either.
Man?
I think it
can't
could be.
remember. Not
That
$1
being
Million.
said, though, it is time for us to start wrapping this thing up. Don't forget, we stream All
ATGN.
Things Good and Nerdy every Sunday live at 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central over at Geeks.live. It is the streaming home of the Gonna Geek Network. While you're there, scroll down to the bottom of the page. You can see a calendar of all the other upcoming live events. The next show is Legends of S.H.I.E.L.D., which I believe records at either 7 or 8 p.m. this evening. So, as we record this on Sunday, April 7th. But hey,
You mean this evening?
this evening. Yes, that's exactly what I mean.
Good evening.
Good evening. That being said, we are going to shut this thing down. Do you guys have any final thoughts as we close things down?
Chris, remember, you're still up there. Just because you're the lesser of the Chris's doesn't mean you're a bad Chris. Remember, you're the only Chris I said I would suck your dick for $70 million. And stick for the after show when I tell my my new business plan.
Thanks for listening to this brand new episode of the All Things Good and Nerdy podcast. Don't forget, we'll be back next Sunday live at 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central over at live.atgnpodcast.com, channel 3 of the Alpha Geek Radio app, and over at our network home at gonnageek.com/live. If you have any feedback for the show, please contact us atgnpodcast at gonnageek.com, on our hotline number at 304-806-ATGN, or even better, go to Twitter and send us a message at ATGN Podcast. The music you've heard in this show is produced by Kevin MacLeod and can be found at incompetech.com.